Okay, I am here. I'm just gonna leave myself set up like this for now. I don't know what's going on out front, but they were here last week. We have gas. I don't know if they have to do something. They could just be sitting there because we've got like a nice place to stop. I am referring to my comment in the chat. If you're wondering what I'm rambling about right now, the gas company is sitting out front, and I don't know why. But like if the doorbell rings, I'm gonna have to run. So I'm just gonna have myself set up like this for now, and we will go from there. What is this fuzzy? Do you see this random fuzzy? This is my day. Anyways, hey guys, hey everybody, hey Devin, hey whoever else is lurking in the interwebs watching me. I am Chloe, and this is Rise and Ride. I feel like I forget. You know what? I was going to say, I feel like I forget to introduce this when I do it, but also, like, things have been so crazy lately that I don't know when I would have even. I don't know if I was running these last week or if Sandy was. It doesn't matter. Hey, Yanni, thanks for joining. So the plan. Oh, and CB. Oh my God, I've got so many people this morning. Yay! That's good because I am by myself up here, and as you guys know, I am prone to like panic rambles. So my plan for today is we're going to stick to the usual schedule. At aside from the fact that we're starting 10 minutes late or 2 hours late. Oh my God, I can't talk. Whoa. We are going to do our first sprint at 5 after, and it is going to be a 10-minute sprint. And from that point on, we are going to chat for 10 minutes and write for 15 minutes. And that'll take us right up until noon Eastern time. And wherever you happen to be, whatever that time is for you. So we're going to go for the next 2 hours. And if I remember the math correctly, we're going to have 70 minutes of writing, which is great because we are in nano. Let me know how you guys are doing if you are doing nano. I have hit that 50,000, but as you guys may or may not know, I did have a plan on writing 2 novels and editing another. And we are over the halfway point, and because of everything being what it is, I have 1 novel written and the beginning of the second novel written, and none of the editing. I've edited 1 chapter, and that I've edited the prologue, and it's like 30 chapters long. So I am hoping that from this point on, I am going to be able to just like crush through everything. I'm going to be writing during these sprints. I don't edit as well during sprints. And I am going to actually stick with my plan of writing during sprints and editing when I am not in a write-in. And hopefully I will actually get that done. For some reason, I was dragging my feet yesterday. I love editing. Normally, I am super excited to edit. I think part of the problem for me right now is I'm worried that the ending is the worst part of my story, and I haven't gotten feedback on that. And I feel like I'm going to do editing, and then it's going to come back with like, no, you need to rewrite the entire damn thing because this was awful. Actually, there's no way that's going to happen, but I feel it in my bones. So I have been lazy about the editing, but it's today that editing starts, and I'm going to write this flippin' novel. Hey Binary, thanks for joining us. CB finished their 50K on Saturday morning and is redrafting. So are you just like starting it from scratch? Like, have you decided that you are done with nano and you're now going on to the like fixing everything you wrote with nano phase? I'm okay with that. I am postponing that. I'm now that I'm writing the second novel in this series that I wrote the first novel for already, I'm worried that first one is super, super weak. And I have this issue of putting super, super weak stories at the beginnings of my series. I consider book 3 of my Shifter series to be like my favorite story that I have written, and like 10 people have purchased it. I don't know if any of them have read it, but like everybody dislikes the first book in the series enough that they don't keep going. And like just read the third one. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I just suck at beginnings. And I feel like I'm in that well again. But that's okay. I'm gonna write all of the other books in this series. I'm gonna rapid release them. So I'm going to write every single book before I do anything. And then by the time I have the sixth book written, I'm hoping that like I have a better idea of how to make the first book work. Okay. I went on a ramble for way too long there. As is my way. By way too long, I mean a single minute longer, but like, how did I talk that long? It's okay. So we are going to write for the next 10 minutes. As I mentioned at the very top of the chat, I don't know what's going on with the gas company being parked out front. So if I do not immediately come back after this sprint, it is okay. There is another distraction going on as well, which I will talk about when we come back from this break. But yeah, so if I'm not immediately back at the 10-minute point, I promise it's because I'm just dealing with something and I will be back ASAP. For now, go ahead and write, and I will see you guys at just after quarter after. All right. We are back. Did I do all that right? Yeah, looks like I did. And I'm again gonna pop up the next timer. They're just standing in the yard right now, the service guys. It's funny with everything that has gone on in the last few weeks. I feel like everybody who I've seen here so far today has been with us regularly to know, but we had a bad storm, massive tree damage 2.5 weeks ago now. And since then, we've had the power company, the gas company, the fire company, the firefighters. We've had Comcast come out. We've had an electrician come out. We've had everything imaginable come out. And also through a lot of it, I didn't have internet or electricity. So I've been like an observer. I've been like stalking these people. I have great big bay windows in my living room. It's like I'm watching them, but they can also clearly watch me, which is okay. Like to see, I see you, you see me, we got this. But this has been fascinating to watch. On the first day, everybody was like, go, go, go. You know, big panic day. Power company does not dick around. And they had like a whole flipping tree that they had to like clear out of the way to get the lines back up. Of course, the firefighters, the fire company, they don't dick around at all either. They're like, you've got a gas leak right there. Like, we got all this. It turned out we didn't have a gas leak because we've got like a safety valve on it, which I think most people do. But like panic mode, disaster. But then after that, for the last 2 weeks, I've watched, and it's so funny because obviously these people are coming from all different companies. They weren't all trained the same way. Like I feel like everybody's got like a different kind of business ethic, no matter what their business is. But every single one of them, they pull up to the house and then they sit in their car, their truck. It's always trucks, obviously, with this side of thing. They always sit in their trucks for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm assuming that they're doing some sort of like paperwork or whatever, and probably dicking around a little bit on their phones. But it's just funny because it's always so much time that they sit there before they get out. I'm not calling anybody out or anything like you do. This seems to be the norm. Yeah, that's the thing here. This is what everybody is doing. And then they get out and then they kind of like just examine things for a while without actually doing anything. And if there's more than one guy, there's always too many guys. Like right now, there are 3 guys just standing in my yard, and I guarantee that what they're doing, they only need 2 of them. And at no point will I ever see all 3 of them working at the same time. But they'll just, they'll stand there quietly, even if they're with other people, and just look at what's going on, but like not in a way like they're like evaluating the situation, just like, okay, this is where I am now. And then it's anywhere between like 15 minutes and a half hour before they actually come up to the door and do anything. And again, like the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, well, whatever. This is just what they do. But like when you're seeing these people every single day for 2 weeks, it becomes a weird trend. So, and being like working from home right now, here we are. So there was one moment where I probably creeped them all out, because there's 3 of them out there, because I was making tea. I usually make a cup of coffee right before I do these things, and the morning ones, and I'm out of creamer, and I'm really picky about my coffee. So like if I don't have the right creamer, I've got like coffee flavor fun stuff and cream or milk, but that's not good enough. Like if I can't have my coffee with my vanilla caramel creamer, I have to like go out full on cappuccino, or I can just make a pot of tea. So pots of teas take longer than cups of coffee to make. So I ended up having to like make that all throughout that last sprint instead of right before the show started, which is my usual thing. So at one point I'm just standing there at the bay windows holding like teacup and teapot, just standing there staring at them. At least one of them looked up, and I feel like it was probably just a really creepy moment for them. Um, Possibly it would have been less creepy if I was in a tea drinking region of the world, but I am in Atlanta. The only tea people drink in Atlanta is sweet tea. So yeah, that's been my morning. I feel like if I was like up north or obviously like overseas, like it would have been a more normal thing. Yeah. So also on that note, I did not get any writing done, but that was kind of what was happening on that sprint. On our next sprint, which is going to start in 3 minutes, I'm probably going to go stalk them for another moment to see if they are finally doing anything or if they've realized that they're at the wrong dang address because they literally dug a trench and laid a new line in our yard a week ago. So I feel like they're just at the wrong place. Or again, that they're like checking up to make sure that the work was okay, but why do they need 3 people for that? Also, we did have some people join us. I'm sorry, I'm doing that thing where like I lose control of everything and just go on these rambles. But hey, Rose, and hey, Nikki, thanks for joining this morning. I'm also like way more energetic at this time. I'm not going to stick to this 10 a.m. time. I feel like being more energetic has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that it's 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. I just slept really well last night. Woo! But yeah, so I'm probably going to stalk them again for about 5 minutes on the next sprint. And then at that point, I will actually write because I do have goals today. I might also make a video today, like an actual not word sprint. I just learned how to make 3D box covers, 3D box set covers, like the images to put on Amazon if you've got a box set and you want it to be a 3D box looking thing. I just figured out how to make them. And once I figured it out, once I did it like twice, because I kind of messed up the first time, and then the second time I got a lot closer. The third time I was able to do it in 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm going to make a tutorial on this because I couldn't find anything. And for the program that I use, there are all kinds of tutorials out there, but for like the base image that I used and the tutorial or the program, my graphic design program, I couldn't find any tutorials for those 2 things or anything even close. So I think I'm going to make a tutorial about that. Actually use this dang channel for how we meant to use it. So yeah, so that was my 10-minute ramble. We're going to go ahead and do our next sprint now. It is for 15 minutes and it is actually 25 past. I got that right this time. So we are going to write until, I guess that's going to be 20 of? Yes, that sounds right. Sorry, it sounded really wrong when I said it the first time and then I mathed it. It was like, yeah, I don't know why I'm being like this. So I will see you guys in 15 minutes. Happy writing, everybody. All right, we are back. I hope you guys got some good writing in there. I got a little bit of writing. You know what? I got 290 or 190. I'm not gonna say that's a little bit. I got a decent amount. I wandered around for a bit again to get that update that there's now 4 of them out there. I have no idea what any of them are doing. That's okay. I don't think they do either, but they've been here for 40 minutes and they have done nothing. I don't know. They've been here for 40 minutes and I wrote 191 words. Let me know how you guys did. Who was I going to tell? Oh, so I am using Wavemaker this time. I know we talk a lot about what apps we use to write in. And I decided to try Wavemaker this time. I am extremely hit and miss with Wavemaker. Everything about it is either amazing or terrible. And it's funny that there's no in between with this app. CB got 142. That's great as well. And so Wavemaker, my most recent thing. So it does have a dictionary. It does have spell check. There was an option. I have no idea how I found it before, but there was an option to like sync it up. I thought I was syncing it up to like Google's main dictionary to get like more, especially because like I've got a lot of names in this and I use character names that they're not names that like the English speaking world would use so much, but a lot of them are Arabic or like Asian in origin. So they are names on our planet. I'm not like making up words, but they get spell checked a lot. And with this online dictionary update that again, I think was Google, but I'm not sure exactly. It's letting a lot more of those go, which is great because I really don't like having to deal with red lines under everybody's names. So that is a perk to it. Another perk, I guess it was more than just a dictionary. I don't know what exactly it was, but it's catching where you use a similar word, but it knows that you're using it in the wrong way. And by that, like, this is eerily specific. It's not even like I was using a word that was an adjective where a verb or a noun should be. This was literally, I got flagged because I used silicon, like the natural substance without the E on it, instead of silicone. In reference to a watch band. So it actually knew that the phrase silicon watch band was incorrect. And I am really impressed by that because, of course, that's those little things that like most people never catch. It's those little things that like I see in traditionally published books all the time where they use the wrong but very, very similar word that most people just, it doesn't even, like, your brain auto corrects it. I don't know if I had done, if I had done a dozen editing rounds on this, if I ever would have caught that mistake. But Wavemaker did. CB uses Google Docs. I don't know if this is still a problem with Google Docs. I'm one of those people that, like, as soon as a program fails me, I'm like, I'm done with it forever and all of eternity. So I don't know if this is still an issue, but back in the day, Google Docs, if your document got more than like 40,000 words, which is not a complete nano project, and it's certainly not a complete novel most of the time. If your project got to about 40,000 words, Google Docs would just like basically not load anymore. It wouldn't be like a full crash, but it would be so sluggish that it was like impossible to even work in. You know, when you're trying to type and the letters are not coming up at the pace that you're typing them, like that gets really difficult to deal with really fast. So I know tons of people use Google Docs. Wavemaker actually syncs through your Google Drive. So it's kind of like, you know, utilizing that system, but in a much fancier way. And I know that a lot of people will deal with that Google Docs issue by like making a folder and having all of their chapters, different scenes within the folder. And that's great. If you can do that, that's fantastic. I can't personally do that. If that is a doable thing for you, though, absolutely. I do like how accessible Google Docs is. This program that I'm using now, Wavemaker, one of its coolest and also most terrible features is that you can open it anywhere and it's basically the same. Like, I say that knowing that, like, I've got Microsoft Word on my phone and I have used it. I've written an entire novel that way. It's harder, though. It's, you know, if you need to go back and find like a reference, you're pretty screwed on that. Trying to like backtrack and then get to where you are, it takes tons of time. That scrolling doesn't work. You know, the usual frustrations with it. So when I say that Wavemaker is almost identical, the app on the phone looks exactly like this screen, just obviously instead of being, oh God, there we go, that shape. It's that shape. So like everything that's extended out, like you have to like hit things to open those things. The side, I'm forgetting words, but if you use Scrivener, you know, you've got your like navigation pane and then where you're typing and then like keywords and all of that crap. Wavemaker has a similar setup to that. So like you got to slide between those. But other than that, it is identical and it is that same sort of breakdown as Scrivener. It's really easy to use on your phone. The problem is that it does not automatically update. It will automatically save on your, like, whatever the device you're on. It'll do an auto save to the local drive, but you have to manually sync it to the cloud, to Google Drive, and then you have to manually sync down when you pick up another device. And I like, now that I'm actually in the writing phase of this, that isn't a problem, but because I know, like, I'm not somebody who jumps around. I write linear, so I can tell if I am not synced up. But in my planning phase, where I was like shoving notes all over the place, there was a point where I had to do this like whole nightmare reset thing to get back probably about 50 notes. So yeah, I really like this program. It just has these weird pitfalls in it. And also it doesn't like snap back to your previous position if you go to something else on it. CB says, you hate Microsoft Word. I use Microsoft Word for edits, and only for like proofreading edits. Any sort of developmental thing, I do all in whatever program I'm trying that time. I've been through Scrivener, I've been through YWriter, and I'm now on Wavemaker, and I'm not happy with any of them. But I will do the primary writing and then the first major edit in that program, and then transfer it to Word for the fine tuning. Okay, so it is that time again. Yay! I can stop talking. So we are going to write again for 15 minutes. And just like before, if I am not back at the 15-minute point, I promise I will get back to you as soon as I can. I don't know what these guys are doing out front. I also might be getting a phone call from my mother. I'll talk about that one in a minute because I've got other drama going on. So we're going to write for the next 15 minutes. It is 9 of, so we are going to write until 6 after. Good luck, everybody. All right, we are back, and by we, I mean I. That is okay. It's the real we. How'd you guys do? Did I get about 200 more? I got about 226 more that time. I'm basing that off of the fact that I said I had about 200 last time, and I'm at 426 now. So I am slogging through today, and that is okay. My primary goal for today was not to get the big words. I am writing every single day because I do like to have pretty graphs on Nano. The charts frustrate the hell out of me on Nano because there's that one. So there is the like steady progress one that, oh my God, I can't get my hand angle right it goes like that though. So there's that one, and that's nice. It kind of shows a little voyage, it bumps along the way. But then there's also the like word count per day one. And I understand the thought behind it, but also that chart, because of how it is scaled, no matter how consistent you are with your word count, it looks insane. So like my first week, I was writing between 3,000 and 5,000 words, which is, I consider to be fairly consistent, and also like big numbers, like numbers that I should be proud of every day. But the thing is, has a dynamic scale to it. So for me, my scale was between like 2,000 and 6,000. So even though, like, if I was on a scale that was like 0 to 6,000, I'd be like up here the entire time. It would look pretty good. Instead, I'm on a scale that's 2,000 to 6,000. So it looks like a roller coaster going through. I'm like, that makes me feel not good about the 3,000 words. I should feel great about the 3,000 words, and I don't because of this chart. CB got 103. CB, you said that you tried it. Are you talking about WaveMaker? That it is a wee bit primitive for writing in. If that's what you're talking about, yes, I feel like pretty much every single one of these writing apps is primitive. Scrivener is slightly better, but I mean, so I tried Papyrus as well. And Papyrus was super fancy to write in, and I hated it. I hated Papyrus because it was set up as like print book pages, and when I'm writing, I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it did. And like it's set up with like print book pages with like your headers and footers and all of that stuff, and I I didn't like it. I wasn't comfortable with that writing environment. I don't know. And then like things were really weird with how the chapter breaks were done. I don't know. I do know some people who love Papyrus. So I feel like I should always put the caveat on these things that like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with anybody else for liking it. I do know people who love Papyrus. It was not for me at all. Another problem with WaveMaker, and this is also a problem with YWriter, is it does not smart correct or autocorrect double N dashes to an M dash. And that's a fairly easy fix once I put it into Microsoft Word. I can just do a find and replace all. It's not like a disaster thing to fix. But it's still a little frustrating. It's frustrating to see all those double N dashes when I know it could have just given me an M dash there. And you can go ahead and give me the argument that there's the hotkey, alt 0167 or whatever it is for an M dash. I'm not smart enough for those. I try to do it, and like I told myself before I did this, like just put a note somewhere, make it obvious, so that every single time you need an M dash, just like do this quick key thing. And I I don't. I never will. I don't even know if it works in Wavemaker or not. I know it does not in YWriter. I feel like I saw on like a Reddit or whatever that it does work in Wavemaker, but that's okay. Yes, CB just said that Google Docs does fix M dashes. So does Scrivener, and so does Microsoft Word. I'm not surprised that YWriter doesn't, because YWriter is extremely bare bones. I like it for that. And then there are also moments where I'm like, I wish it was a little bit prettier than this. But usually I do appreciate how primitive or how bare bones YWriter is. So I wasn't surprised at all that YWriter does not do an adjustment for it. You can't even like mess with the font that you type in beyond, I think you've got like 4 font options and you can change the size. I feel like actually that's Wavemaker too. So I wasn't surprised with YWriter that it does not have any auto fix on stuff like that. Wavemaker though, with how nice looking it is, it was a bit surprising. So again, there are definite pitfalls in Wavemaker, but it also has so many different organization options, and that is huge for me. Apparently Pages does as well. I've never used Pages before. But yeah, the thing with the programs, the noveling programs, is none of them is ever perfect because we all want different things out of them. So just because you love one thing, I mean, so many people love Scrivener, and with Scrivener, I have to have a spreadsheet open the entire time because their organization system is so bad for me. And I know it's good for other people, but for me, the organization system on Scrivener is a complete nightmare. I don't know. It's this weird in between of like, either just give me a damn spreadsheet and let me do what I do, or give me 8 million ways to get little nitpicky as possible. And make them easy for me to access, which is an issue with Wavemaker. But God, Wavemaker has, oh my God, it's got, so like going down the list, this is where Wavemaker is really awesome. It's got database cards. It's got a snowflake tool. I don't snowflake, so I've never messed with it. There is a planning board that basically, as you put notes into your actual document. So if you picture it as like as a Scrivener document, you've got that column that's got your scenes in it, and then you've got the primary document, and to the far end you've got notes, like post-it notes. So the planning board actually syncs up with all of that. So like I've never actually used the planning board. I can, but if I open planning board, I see the notes. That is absolutely how I was using this. And they're all just laid out there. So if I didn't want to like skip around to different scenes, I could just do everything on that planning board. And then there's this grid planner, which I didn't understand how to use it at first, but basically it is your, not a spreadsheet, but it's just all these different lists. You can just drop down all of your different information. I go the wrong way. That ended up like, once I figured out how to use it, it's like, for me, because I'm doing sci-fi, I've got like my list of aliens. I've got my list of ships. I've got my list of planets, and they're all right there. Very easy to find. I haven't messed with mind maps. I don't actually even know what mind maps means. But there is a timeline tool, which is fantastic for me. And there is a little challenge mode thing. It doesn't sync up great, but if you want to like just jump out of your document and do like a write or die sort of thing, it won't let you save it until you meet both your word count goal and your time goal, which I support that. Also, I support us writing right now. I'm so proud of myself, you guys, that I've been able to ramble this long, and it looks like I've been keeping up my numbers with people who are here. So thanks for listening to me ramble. I'm going to write for the next 15 minutes. And of course, by that, I mean I am going to go stalk the gas company people who are outside my house for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to write for 10 minutes. I would like you guys to be productive for 15 minutes, though. I will see you guys at just after 1/2 past the hour. Okay, we are back, and I was talking to a dead microphone for a moment there. So let me know how you did in comments. CB, I want a very, very brief description of what a mind map is, if you are willing to share. Again, this is something I've heard the term before, and I feel like as I was reading the description, it kind of got tossed into that pile. Let me try to get myself centered. There we go. I feel like I got it tossed into the pile of stuff like snowflake method, which again, like if you use snowflake method, more power to you, but it is for me. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining us. We are going to have one more sprint today. It is going to be in 10 minutes, and it is going to be for 15 minutes. And again, I am keeping this all up on the screen in case anybody knocks on my door. I don't know if that's... These guys have been outside my house for an hour and a half now. If you haven't been updated the entire time, if you just are now tuning in, it is the gas company, not some like weird random people. I don't know why they're here though, except they've been hanging out in my lawn and now in the road by their truck for the past hour and a half. I am not being as productive as I normally am, probably because of all of that going on outside. I did get probably about 250 on that one though. I'm going to finish this sentence right quick. Because already I'm like, oh Lord, where is this going? Okay. This one looks no more dangerous as a house cat as he sits on the floor. But I know he's an assassin. They all are, is the sentence, and then little extra bit that was missing there. Okay. So CB says a mind map is basically a drawing where you start with a theme and then you add ideas, like for instance, spider, arachnids, hairy knees, scary. So this is reminding me of that just thing you do that I see in a lot of groups, and also you can just amuse yourself like by a campfire or whatever, where you just start naming associated words to a topic, and then you keep going and see where on earth that takes you, which always takes you to like weird places where it starts with like vegetable and it ends with tsunami. Just, weird voyages of words. So I don't know how that helps with the writing. Also, everybody's got their own processes, and it is what it is. CB wrote 178 words. Jolene wrote 434 words, and that I consider to be real impressive in a 15-minute sprint. I know we all write at our own paces. I guess this is not to recant that statement. I stand by that statement, but I guess if you are doing a 1K 30 minute, that is about the pace that you have. 434. Sorry, I heard sound, but it's just the cat. It's just the cat using a cat pad. So I guess that is about the pace that you have to have, but I always feel like, I don't know, we all have like our sweet spot for how long we can write for that like gets the optimal amount of words. Mine is 20 to 25. 15 always feels a little short for me. That like 10 is very short. 10 is just like the most warm up of warm ups. But for 15, I feel like, I am not my most productive in the first 5 minutes of any sprint. So if I've got like 15 to 20 minutes afterward to get over that like first 5-minute hump, then I am absolutely going to be my most efficient, because I'm going to have that 5-minute hump, whether I write for 10 minutes or 30 minutes. So let's have as much after that hump as possible. But then, of course, the flip side of that is the fatigue. And after about 25 minutes, like I definitely fatigue at about 25 minutes. I used to be able to do the 1K 30s and I cannot anymore. And I don't think it's a bad thing that I lost that ability. I think it's just that I have gotten better about writing clean drafts. So, you know, when I was writing 1K 30s, I had a lot of editing to do after that. And now, as long as like I've got a decent outline already and I know exactly where I'm going, the more like 800 words that I can write, not even that, I write probably about 700 words in 30 minutes now. But that 700 words is a better, like I'm getting more on the return than 1,000 words because they're better. So Jolene is saying that her diminishing return or one of diminishing return is at 15 minutes. So these sprints are perfect for you. I could go just a little bit longer and get better results. But if I do that 20, 25 minute, I do write about, I guess I average between like 30 and 35 words a minute. And that I feel real good about. So, you know, if I know that I'm getting, I think it ends up being like, yes, it ends up being 600 words in 20 minutes. And that is exactly what I want. If I can get between 500 and 600 words in 20 minutes, I feel really good about my day. Did I run out of things to talk about? I kind of did. It's okay. It's okay. I hit that point. This was weird. I feel like I was going at a really good pace for a while. So I guess it's okay that I just hit that point where I was like, I don't know where to go from here. I have discovered that like my secret skill is making alien romance book covers. So that was good to know. And now I'm like, maybe I should just write alien romance forever. That wasn't my plan. This was just like a one-off thing that I said, I'm just going to do this because I have this idea in my head. It's an idea that I've had from like years and years ago that I never thought that I would be able to do anything with because I had written this little, it was just a short and it was very dark. Dark in the dark romance sense, which is a different dark than like horror dark. It was a lot of not good things happening in it. And it was just like a random thing that I wrote that is just sitting in my head. And I wrote it and I was like, well, I'll never be able to do anything with this. It's not publishable. It's, you know, I would never be able to publish it on Amazon because of the content in it. And then I don't know, over the summer, I just had this idea that I was like, I can actually use a bunch of this stuff from that. And so that's what I'm doing. And so, yeah, it was supposed to be this like one-off thing that I do. But now I'm like, hey, I'm actually really good at making these covers. So maybe for no other reason except that I'm good at making these covers, I should keep writing this stuff. And that is a terrible reason to choose the genre you write in. Don't do that. Don't do it just because you're good at making covers. Somebody else can make covers for you. We are going to write for the next 15 minutes. We have hit that point. I was okay. I ran out of stuff for like 10 seconds and then I found something else to go to. So we're going to write for the next 15 minutes. This is going to be our last sprint. It is 20 of now. So if you are on the East Coast of the United States, we are going to be finishing up at 5 of noon. Good luck, everybody, and get those words in. All right, we are done. I did just hit 1,000 words, 1,012 words for the sprint, and I'm good with that. Yay, 1,000 words. A lot of distractions today. They are, as of last check, still hanging out by their truck, and that's, I don't know. This is just, apparently they're going to spend all day just standing out in my road. That's okay. Yeah. Let me know how you guys did. I'm just going to ramble for a couple more minutes before we end our show. I was going to have a list of shows that were going to be starting soon. And let's see. Yes, I do have it. CB got 82. Let's see. So the only show it looks like that is on the calendar for right now, let's see. I am posting a link. That looks like is the one option for the noon show. If you are going by that snazzy Google Calendar that is out there, I'm sure that there are other shows, but that is one that is going to be starting in a couple of minutes. Jolene got 46. That is another fantastic sprint. I guess I got, I got about 350 on that one. So my pace is picking a little bit back up. I guess if I stopped walking out to the living room to see what was going on outside, I've been doing a bit better than this, but that's okay. Also, CB and Agane both agree that they don't have a clue about grammar. Grammar is my biggest strength, but that's okay. I see that. That's probably not true. I just do know a lot of grammar because I have a degree in this sort of thing. I'm looking at like all of my old textbooks right now on grammar. I know that like we've kind of moved away from textbooks, at least like, this actual thing that I have been toting around for years. I've got so many of them. I just have like an entire row of anthologies of American and world lit. And I know that like we have moved on to them being mostly digital now. And I support this because like I've got chemistry and physics textbooks there that I know that I paid like $200-$300 a pop for them. That Shakespeare book down there, I believe, was $120. I have an obscene amount of college loan debt right now that these textbooks certainly didn't help. So I support going digital, but also I still have all of these books. And I like having them, especially things like that English grammar book. And then sometimes, I've got like foreign language books there. I've used those anthologies to get like a better idea of time frame when I've done anything historical. So I like having those textbooks around. Nikki is asking about links for self-publishing. And of course, I don't remember everything that we talked about now. Jolene just said that digital texts aren't as inexpensive as they should be, and you only get them for 5 years. Oh, that makes me so mad for everybody who's in college right now. They should be real cheap. So I don't remember everything that we talked about yesterday, but I do know that Story Origin came up. And of course, that is a dashboard link because it's just what I have sitting on my screen. But that is a good one. And then let's see. You absolutely have to have... Sorry, I am done in case you guys want to move over to that other sprint that's going on. I'm just going to put up some of these links for Nikki, and then I'm going to call it a day. We did definitely talk about how you have to have an account with KDP from Amazon. That is the basic. And then what was the other was? So Story Origin is how you kind of like get your name out there. You get your reviews, you get your arcs sent out, you get put onto newsletter builders, stuff like that. And then I also mentioned Mailer Lite. Of course, all of these are going to dashboards. Oh God. Okay. I'm sure if you follow these links, it will send you to the right place within it. Mailer Lite is what I recommend to use for your newsletter, which is an essential. And then everybody should use Canva. Canva is for graphic design. I don't actually do my covers in Canva. I don't think it makes the greatest covers because it's pretty primitive in its graphic design. But again, if you don't know how to do graphic design, you're kind of, that's the position that you're in. But Canva is great for making like every flipping ad under the sun. So those are some basic places to start. I'm sure there are good places for like learning how to do stuff. But again, like some of it is more difficult. Some of it is like figuring out how you're going to get yourself edited and stuff like that. And that is kind of like a joining groups thing, finding yourself beta readers, joining beta reading groups. Oh, Devin just posted another one that is Mallory Cooper. Thank you for posting that, Devin. So Nikki, if there's anything else that you're missing, just let us know. I will be doing this stream again on Thursday, but I will be back to the usual 8 a.m. I'm going to let you guys all go now, though. So you'll have a great day. And happy writing, and hopefully I'll see you later this week. And I meant to go over to this end broadcast. Okay, so you guys have a great day. Bye.